My boyfriend watches freaky videos in bed and he thinks I don't notice. Guys, today, it's gonna be a different video today. We're gonna be calm, there's no screaming, we're just here, it's just me and it's just you. It's nice and calm today. We don't really have much nice and calm videos where it's just me talking to the camera. But today, we're reading Reddit confessions from the r/confessions page. And one of these looks like it's going to be freaky, so let's just hop right into this first one. So, to restate the title, it's boyfriend watches freaky videos. I'm going to have to say that because I don't know what I can say on YouTube. In bed and thinks I don't notice. This comes from Royal Newt on r/confession. Throwaway account, by the way. My boyfriend, 20M. I don't know if I can say this. He plays with himself in bed next to me and somehow thinks I, 21 female, won't notice. I realized what he was doing maybe 6 months ago, and it's gotten progressively more obvious. At first, he would only do it when he thought I was asleep, but now it's even when I'm definitely awake. Okay. Like, it's almost like a respect thing, a decency. Like, if your partner's right next to you, do you not feel a little bit weird? Just like, I gotta tug one out right now. Like, I feel like this might be addiction that this guy is struggling with, considering he's doing it next to his partner. I mean, I'd hope that if there's no other time to do it, but okay, let's continue. I tried talking to him about it once, but he just said he didn't know what I was talking about. We have completely normal, healthy, freaky life, and intimacy has never been awkward between us. We've talked about playing with yourself / freaky videos before, so I'm only really bothered by this because he does it when I'm not in the mood for freaky time. It honestly makes me feel like crap because it's like I'm not good enough to please him. I don't know what else to do about it or how to confront him again. This is tough. I mean, when you're in a situation like this, you kind of just have to make your boundaries known. In all relationships, it's iffy whether or not your partner's comfortable with you watching these videos. Just make it a boundary note in the beginning of the relationship. I don't know if that is the case here, but there's nothing said about it. Edit. I'm completely okay with playing with yourself. There we go. We both do it and can talk about it. I'm bothered that he lays next to me, pretends I can't see him, and then lies about it. This just kind of like, this dude kind of sucks. I'm like, this dude sucks. Like, is there no other time? Like, you could go into the bathroom. You could, when she's not, like, okay, hear me out. Hear me out. This one might be a hot take. I could be wrong. But maybe when she's not in the room? Like, right next to her when she's in bed, I feel like that would make me so weirded out. Unless that would be something that they're into, but she's not into it. And it just makes her feel bad about herself. And he's doing it right next to her. It's just weird, honestly. She did say she tried talking to him. He acts like he doesn't know what she's talking about. But I think in this case, another conversation needs to be had. Be like, I know that you're doing this. I'm not comfortable with it. If you could just wait till I'm not here. Honestly, just wait till I'm not here. Don't hate me, guys. Maybe when she's not there. But yeah, I mean, that was interesting. I know freaky videos, that's an iffy it's an iffy topic of conversation for all couples. Some people are comfortable with it, some people are not. But let me know. Like, how do you guys feel about that? Like, what would you do if you were her in this situation? But let's just get into the next story. I'm counting down the days till I can ghost all my long-term friends. This one is from Hammy Shrimp. Off the title, if I'd have to guess, friends sound like they kind of suck. We don't know. We don't know the situation, but we're about to find it out. I am 1 week away from graduating, and as the title says, I am counting down the days till I can ghost all my long-term friends. The last 2 years have been extremely hard for me, ranging from multiple family losses in the span of a couple months to relationship problems, getting diagnosed with PDD. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, there are multiple matches for PDD, including persuasive development disorder and persistent depressive disorder. Okay, so now we understand. And social anxiety and having a really hard time at school. I don't necessarily blame my friends, some of which I had been best friends with for over 5 years because they have never been the assertive type. But when I needed someone to reach out to me the most, just to send an unprompted texts asking how I'm going, no one did. That kind of sucks. I mean, if you got friends, just check up on them, because you never know what somebody's going through. There's people that will just keep everything in, and sometimes maybe just an "Are you okay?" or "How are you doing?" is all that it really takes. At the start of my decrease in mental health, I didn't come to school for nearly a month because my anxiety had gotten so bad, which was out of character for me, as I never skipped school, and not a single friend even asked where I was or how I was going. If you're gone for all this time and nobody's like, "Hey, where's bro? Like, what is this guy doing?" Nobody reached out. Nobody was wondering how he was doing. And this said for nearly a month. Those aren't your friends, bro. Those, like, kick them to the curb. Why are they still here? This is gonna make me heated for you. Like, why are we still associating with these people? They say it was because they wanted to give me space and let me work it out myself. But at the time, feeling so hopeless and I don't know if I can say this word, just like you're about to end it all. I think a part of me just wanted someone to ask what was going on. They never did. I don't blame them for it. It can be difficult to reach out to someone who's going through a hard time, but a part of me in hindsight is hurt by this, especially knowing that the years prior, when one of our friends was going through a tough time herself, I would seek her out when she'd isolate herself at lunch and recesses and spend the time making her laugh and eating with her whenever I noticed she wasn't with the rest of the group. See, this OP is a good friend, but these people aren't, if they're not giving you that same energy that you're giving them, is it really something worth putting effort into? If you're in a friendship, this goes out to anybody. If you're in a friendship and you're putting effort and effort is not being received, if they're just not caring, that's not really a friendship worth your time. It should be somebody that wants to be with you, wants to be talking with you, wants to see how you are. That's really all it is. Just someone that cares about you. But in OP's case, this is not the case. I loved my friends, but I think after feeling so alone, even when I was with them, I just can't look at them the same. They would exclude me from events, talk around me like I was fragile or not there, and just act in general as if I was invisible. Okay, bro, just get these people up out of here. These are not your friends. Do you even know? These are like acquaintances at this point. They're not bad people. Even now I know this, but I just can't ever see them as people I want to be friends with. The past half a year, I have drastically improved getting the medications and professional help I needed. I'm in a good headspace for the first time in my life. Ever since I've started getting better, I've gone back to the friend group I was once in. I acted happy and cheerful and funny as I used to, and I know they now consider me a good friend again. They didn't consider you a good friend just because you're going through it. Like, if you're in a different mental state and people are distancing themselves because of that, they don't really care. They only care about the good things about you. If they can't accept you, if you're going through a hard time, get them up out of here. Like, what is going on? Most of my closeness with them is an act. In reality, I feel nothing for any of them. I'm only buying time till I graduate so I have people to talk to during breaks. I have so many bad memories from my school and even more associated with those friends. I'm so excited for the day when I can simply ghost them all and move on with my life. It feels like this is the final step in healing. Like I am finally getting rid of the situation and people that made me feel so worthless, valueless, and dispensable. Honestly, I agree. I think you should distance yourself from these quote unquote friends. Like, I wouldn't even, like, just distance yourself, because these people do not care as much as you do. And that's unfortunate, but that's just how some people are. But at the end of the day, the right people will go to you. The right people will be drawn to you. You give out the energy as you are. Be yourself in the good days and the bad, and those people will come to you. I'm kind of glad my son didn't live long enough to make it out of the hospital. This sounds like it's going to be a tough one. This looks like a little long post. I'm a little worried because that's a frightening title to say. I don't know the context of what was going on here, but we're about to find out. But this one comes from u/XO Kilby. And they say, my son was born at 28 weeks gestation. He had survived 11 weeks prior to that without any amniotic fluid, and he lived for 11 days before passing away in the NICU. I'm glad he didn't make his father a father. I have so many. Okay, so before we continue, I feel like I know where this is going. It sounds like the father would not have been a good father to this child. If that's the case, let's just keep reading. I have so many mixed feelings and so much trauma surrounding this situation. But it all started when I was 6 weeks pregnant and found out that my fiance at the time was responsible for a cold-blooded murder. When I met him, he had just moved to my city. It turned out he moved to my city to run from his crimes committed in another city 2.5 hours away. I know he did it. He was too detailed and admitted it to me while crying and drunk. He showed me the online report, the mugshot of his friend who was sitting in jail for him, how he was still friends on Facebook with his friend waiting out his time. I even went on to discover that I was with him at his aunt's house when he went to bury the murder weapon on her farm. Turn this guy in. This dude, his friend is sitting. If that's even his friend, why would you let your friend go to jail for you? That's unfortunate. Get this guy. What? This is okay. So not the a-hole. I can see where you're coming from. You're in an unsafe situation with somebody that literally did commit a crime. This is crazy. And this is like the worst. After discovering this, things got violent. Throughout most of my pregnancy, I was crying, being chased, being grabbed and shaken, shoved, hit, yelled, and screamed at. This was the cause for my water being broke so early. I apologized to my unborn baby so many times for feeling the way I felt or being in the situation I was in for almost my whole pregnancy. The day before doctors told me my baby likely wouldn't live, he wished death on our child. Nurses had kicked him out of my room multiple times during my extensive stay in the hospital for his behavior. I don't care what anyone says. He killed my son. He has robbed 2 mothers of their sons. I love my son, but with what was discovered while I was pregnant with him, I would have never chosen his father to be a father. I believe him passing away was the best outcome. I wouldn't want him to have a father that wished death on him the day before we found out he may not live. I wouldn't want him to have a violent, homicidal father. I don't want to have ties with that man for the rest of my life. I wish I could apologize to my son for everything. That is an incredibly complicated situation. I cannot blame OP for feeling the way she felt, considering this guy. She'd be bringing in a child into this world that potentially would be very unsafe and endangered. She's currently endangered. When you're in these type of situations, it's very hard on what to decide what to do because you feel like you can't do anything and you're trapped. You're just like trapped in this shell. Honestly, that really sucks. What I think that, I haven't been in a situation like this, so I could very well be wrong. But what I think is if he confessed, okay, I got it. It took me a second to think. Wait for him to get drunk again, right? Turn on that audio recorder, go on the little recording app, voice memos on your phone. There you go. That's all you got to do. While he's drunk, whip it out, put it right back in your pocket while it's on. Done. Get him up out of here. You're going to be like, that's actually crazy. I cannot believe that somebody is actually going through this. And this was 2 weeks ago. I hope we can get an update at some point, honestly, but that's just crazy. All right, guys, we read some r/confession stories. Let me know what y'all thought of those stories. If you agree with my takes, if you have something you want to add, if I had a hot take, just let me know. If y'all want me to read some other Reddit stories, I know it was different today. We can definitely get another video in here. And I hope wherever you are, you have a good day. If it's night for you, have a good night. And I'm going to catch you guys in the next video.